It's been a busy week for movies for me. I went and saw Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. I always want to say Maleficent. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, starring Angelina Jolie, Elle Fanning, and one of my faves, Michelle Pfeiffer, is in this, and she's terrific. This movie really surprised me. I liked the first movie. I thought it was a great kind of star vehicle for Angelina Jolie, and it had some great production values. I wasn't really expecting too much out of a sequel, though. I was like, oh, well, didn't they do that story already? They already did, like, the Sleeping Beauty, but the flip of it, and it was clever and cool. With this one, it was more about the universe building and the world building, and clearly everybody involved in making this movie, including the director, and I don't know if I'm saying his name right, Joachim Roning, has been watching a lot of Game of Thrones, because this is almost like Game of Thrones for tweens, this movie. It's loaded with incredible visuals, and, you know, castles that get attacked and flying characters that make me excited for that inevitable Hawkman movie that we're going to get, or maybe some kind of a remake of that awesome Flash Gordon movie from the 80s. Or a saga movie. Anyways, my mind was wandering. But the movie itself was beautiful, and I actually had an interesting thing happen to me when I was seeing the film. I bought a ticket for the earlier showing. I watched it this morning, actually, or earlier this afternoon, and it was a 3D showing. And I don't normally like to go and see movies in 3D because usually they kind of tamper with the brightness. And when you put on those glasses, it affects the visual kind of quality of the experience. But honestly, this is a movie to go and see in 3D. Halfway through the movie, the fire alarm goes off and everybody gets evacuated. I'm like, oh my God, I guess I can't review this thing today. And then it's a false alarm, so I go back. But in the theater right next door to the 3D one was the 2D one, and it was half an hour later, so I got to catch up on stuff that I had missed. Yeah, half an hour earlier, or I don't know. It was playing 30 minutes later, so I got to catch up on all the stuff that I missed in the story and also evaluate the film in 2D, and it's still beautiful in 2D, for sure. It's filled with color and filled with creatures in every direction. It's about the impending war that Michelle Pfeiffer's character wants to manifest between the humans and the creatures of the moor, all these fairies, and Angelina Jolie, we get to learn, is a dark fae, and she's part of this other kind of, I guess, race of individuals out there that just hasn't been able to get along with humans, and partially due to the attitudes of characters like Michelle Pfeiffer. And so we see everything kind of, accelerate and eventually crescendo in an epic battle scene. That it really felt like something much more colorful and cartoony, and definitely theme park friendly. You can tell that the machine around this movie is, let's keep these, this property and these characters alive so that we can, eventually have them be characters that people will meet at Disneyland, at Disney World. And it's really easy to be cynical about it. But God, it was so artfully and tastefully crafted. I was really impressed with the effect shots. There's basically an effect shot in every scene. And, people like Warwick Davis and Chiwetel Ejiofor, there's some great, supporting actors and fantastic performers that will pop up and surprise you with their heartfelt performances. But they've got rendered effects all around them, whether they've got wings on them or ears that move or little, fairies and living creatures that are flying in and out. And especially if you've got 3D glasses, they're flying in and out of space. And it's mesmerizing. It was truly, truly wonderful. Performances were pretty damn solid as well. Angelina Jolie clearly loves this character and what it provides for her as, not just monetarily, but as a performer. She gets to kind of, chew the scenery a little bit as this overtly evil sorceress, with incredible power. Both in the magical effects that she has, but also just in the strength of her characterization. And it was a hoot for me to see Michelle Pfeiffer be kind of, spoiler alert, the bad guy in this movie. And she's great. She's relishing it, and she's always been one of my favorite actors. I think she's wonderful. She's still my favorite Catwoman. Nobody's going to be better than her as Catwoman. And I just had fun with it. And I was really surprised. I guess part of my enjoyment of this movie, in all honesty, was that I had very low expectations for it. I did not expect it to be as big and as well crafted as it was. epic scenes, like lots and lots of extras. The castle stuff looked incredible. The forest stuff looks incredible. The sort of cave areas that we visit, the land of the dark fae, also beautiful. Reminiscent of some stuff of that I saw in How to Train Your Dragon and those movies. You know what? I think this movie's pretty damn wonderful. It's a great sequel, especially if you go in not expecting the world out of it. I was really entertained and very impressed. And I don't know if this is going to be the end for the franchise. I guess the box office will paint that picture for us. But if you like the first Maleficent, and if you like Angelina Jolie or any of these other performers, I think you're going to have a very good time. I'm going to give Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, an 8 out of 10.